Hello? It is. Thank you. Uh, Good evening. I'd like to call the City of North Augusta regular City Council meeting for December the 16th, 2024 to order. It's great to see everybody. You know, there's a saying that if you want to get people to an event, you invite children, and they're, of course, going to bring people, and that works in municipal government as well. So it is great to see everybody. There are not a lot of perks as mayor in North Augusta, but one of them is that on this meeting every year, I get the privilege of reading a Christmas story. And what's really cool about this is the King James. Okay, this is old school, the real word. And this was given to then Mayor Vernon Maddox on May the 14th, 1963. So this Bible has been used since 1963. I'm assuming as long as you've been here, somebody's read it. So anyway, this comes from St. Luke chapter 2, and I'll begin. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in a swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there were with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the saying which was told them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen, as it was told unto them. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcision of the child, his name was called Jesus, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. This is the word of the people of God. The people of God. All right, very good. At this time, if able, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Let's see. Okay, we'll have our roll call starting from my left.
David McGee.
Pat Carpenter.
Britton Williams.
Jennifer McCauley.
David Buck.
Kevin Toole.
Item 4, approval of minutes. Are there any corrections, deletions, or additions to the regular City Council meeting minutes of December the 2nd, 2024, or the study session minutes of December the 9th, 2024? Hearing none, they stand approved as distributed. Thank you. Okay. Going to flip this order a little bit because I think it's important this gentleman retirement. I want as many citizens to be here as possible, because if we do the mayor's writing first, then I think y'all will get up and leave. You're not going to hear about this guy. We're going to be recognizing whose service to the city as he's retiring. So I'm going to ask Officer John Rutley if you meet me in front, sir. I'm going to keep y'all up here. Good to see you, sir. Make you sharp, brother. All right. Let me tell you about Officer Rutland. Began his career with the North Augusta Department of Public Safety in March of 2000. Seemed like just yesterday, doesn't it? John started as a public safety officer and spent the bulk of his career in the traffic division, attaining the rank of Sergeant Traffic Division in 2009. In 2011, John left the department to pursue a career change in the private sector. His love for helping people prompted him to return to the city in March 2012. During his career, John has served in many capacities with the department, to include a SWAT team member, canine handler, and received many awards, which includes multiple life-saving awards and a commendation award. John has 34 years of public service in various disciplines, such as the military, 8 years, 25 years as a nationally registered paramedic, 31 years as a firefighter, and 24 years in law enforcement, which also include a stint with the Aiken County Sheriff's Office and Aiken County Coroner's Office. John's been married to Laura for the last 34 years, and they have one son, Justin, and are proud grandparents of Gage and Brindley. John is going to continue his passion as he has accepted a position as a deputy coroner for the Richmond County Coroner's Office. Congratulations on your retirement, John. Good luck to you in the future. I'll tell you what, John, Officer Rutland is one of these men that you see everywhere, and just been dedicated. John, this says, in appreciation for your dedication and service, March 14, 2012 to December 20, 2024, from Mayor and City Council, City of North Augusta, South Carolina. And this is the one chance you're going to get to hold the microphone.
Yes, sir. I just want to thank the citizens of North Augusta for entrusting. I'd like to thank the citizens of North Augusta for entrusting me with protecting them and serving them for the last 24 years. So, and for my wife and my son for putting up with me.
That's right. Let's give them a round of applause. You're a good man. You've done us proud, sir. You're fine. Keep up the good work. All right, brother. Thank you, man. Be good. All right. Okay. Y'all stay back up here a while. No, y'all get back around. We'll make you get an exercise. You guys get back up again. But anyway, I got to talk a little bit first. Yeah, you're going to get some more. All right. Item 6. So this is the piece where we're going to do some recognition. And let me kind of give you the backdrop of this. One of the priorities of this council for the last 4 years, and these people, men and women you see up here, is communication. And one of the things that we felt was important, that if we want to give citizens a voice, if we want to communicate better, we can't just let it be to adults. Because I think you all know our children, our young people have a lot to say. So 4 years ago, we started a writing contest starting from 5th grade through 12th grade. And each year, we have had a theme centered around, we asked the students, if I was mayor, I would. And we had a certain topic. Well, this year, due to the hurricane, really thought it was important to change that up a little bit, because I thought it would be important to get our children's, let them do some introspection. Let them see, let's see through our kids' eyes what they experienced. Not just what you and I as adults experienced, but what did our children, what did our young people experience about Hurricane Helene? And the basic theme was, what did they see other citizens doing to help others? How has the city of how did the North Augusta rise above the hurricane? And what I'm going to do is, so we have winners for each grade in each school that participated. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight maybe a sentence or maybe a paragraph that kind of stuck out to me about, because the reality is most all of them, we could all say the same thing. Oh, gee, we saw somebody with a chainsaw. We saw somebody with a generator. We went to someone's house and got food. But these students, they made a statement. She shared something, some perspective that I thought was really unusual and different than all their other classmates. And that's really why they're going to be recognized today. I think as adults, we ought to listen to them because it really was I was very impressed. So we're going to do that. And then at the end, we are going to recognize, we also said, okay, if we do that for 5th through 12th grade, what are we going to do from 1st grade through 4th grade? So we've had a writing contest, a coloring contest. And each year we've had some type of theme. Well, this year we decided that we would use our mascot, Sergeant Justice. Chief Johnson, when he became chief of police, one of his visions was to form a community action team. We call them the CAT team. And these 3 officers, their whole job is to get out in the community, and you've seen them, at whatever that may be, to build relationships with our citizens. And then the mascot is Sergeant Justice. I just thought it made a lot of sense because you're going to be seeing Sergeant Justice a lot. So we wanted all the 1st through 4th graders to see Sergeant Justice, color him, and we've had them down in the lobby in the Municipal Center. And when you leave here, if you haven't noticed them, go down and look at them. They're really very well. But on Thursday, we're going to go to each of their students' schools and give them something. And we do have 2 students that are here in the coloring contest, and I'm going to wait till the end because I'm going to invite them down just so you can see them. I don't have any award for them because we're going to go to their school on Thursday with Sergeant Justice, and he'll present that. But I do want to recognize the 2 students that are here. Okay. Whew, that's a lot. So with that being said, what I'm going to ask our city council to go back, stand behind the dais. I'm going to ask Colin Lindell. Colin is our newest rep. He's our Aiken County School Board representative for North Augusta, and he's already made his rounds among the school, but these relate to the schools that he's representing, so I thought he needed to be here. So Colin, you come on down too. Okay, let's go around. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do is I've got my notes here, and I'm going to call up each child, and I'm going to highlight something about their essay, and then they're going to get a bag, and they're going to go down the line, and these folks are going to congratulate them. Okay, we're going to start with 5th grade. Yeah, we're going to start with 5th grade, and we're going to start at Belvedere Elementary. Where's Riley Hanks? Come on down here, young lady. How are you? Good to see you. So let me tell you about Riley. This I thought was, now talking about being aware of presence, looking at what's happening that people don't think may happen. So this is what really hit me, Riley, and you said, she gave examples. Another way citizens of North Augusta help people was by picking up the community around them. I saw kids writing little notes on people's driveways, such as, "It will be okay." I feel that it was to uplift the citizens of North Augusta area. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you. But anyway, that is why you won. I just love that. That was wonderful. And Riley, here's a little gift. Let's give a round of applause. Riley, go sit down. These are all city council folks. All right, this is North Augusta Elementary School. Where's Lily? Come on down, Lily. How are you? Lily, tell me how to say your last name. How do you say that? Joe. Okay, Lily Joe. Okay, Lily. All right, so let me tell you about Lily. All right. Now, do you want to be a writer? Okay. Listen, Lily has got, I wish I had her vocabulary as good as Lily. Her writing blew me away. So I'm going to read 2 paragraphs. I want you to listen to these words. This is really very impressive for a 5th grader. A destructive yet fleeting moment passes. The clouds settle, and yet our neighborhood becomes rowdy. This is reality after the hurricane. Hopelessness creeps in, yet I saw neighbors talking with others, looking out for each other. The members of our community truly do care and supported others through this devastating and desolate time. Comforting words were shared, and those who had lost everything had others' sympathy with them. Neighbors shared hope and irritation, and that was true, about the situation, feeling that it wasn't fair. Support was an important thing, and people shared it. Fantastic. You're going to be a great writer. I was very impressed by that. So let's give a round of applause. All right, where's Ever? Where's Ever Sherlock? Ever, come on down. How are you? Okay, now, this one sentence, so you don't have to have a lot of words to be impactful. But I love this right here. Now think about the hurricane. This is our opening sentence, okay? You know, say grab you in the beginning when you write something. Hurricane Helene had a huge impact, but our impact was stronger. That's pretty cool. So congratulations. Let's give her a round of applause. All right. Where's Emmeline? Is Emmeline here? There she is. Come on now. And I guess I didn't say, Ever is Our Lady of Peace, and Emmeline, you are Victor Christian. All right, come on up here. So here's what I thought was really neat, because she talks about her uncle. Tell me why you say that, Casey. Okay. So what hit me about Emmeline was she shared something about her uncle. And, you know, we don't think about our kids, maybe family members, observing us. But I thought this was very, very nice. My uncle Casey, he was able to use his previous experience as a lineman to help our local linemen restore power. I'm thankful to live in a community and have family that uses their talents to help others. That's biblical there, Pat. Using God-given talents. And here is a 5th grader that saw that in her, not just in her family, but also in this community. So well done, young lady. Well done. Let's give her. All right, thank you. We're going to move into 6th grade, and this I'm going to ask Mr. C.J. Culberson from North Augusta Middle to come on down. Is C.J. here? Come on down here, sir. How you doing, C.J.? You're a good writer as well. So let me tell you what struck me about yours, okay, is a lot of, which is not unusual with these ages, but CJ talked about he wasn't just watching people, he wanted to share something that he did. And the way you wrote it, I think is fantastic, and I appreciate that. So he was talking about going around, but he said, when I came back home, I had the world's greatest idea. I love that, the world's greatest idea, to clean up the leaves in people's driveways. Me and another kid in my neighborhood swept people's driveways for free, and the people that weren't home, we swept their driveways anyways. And I love this sentence. As far as I understand, I feel like I was doing the right thing. And you know what? I think you did the right thing too. I'm proud of that. Let's give him a round of applause. That's good. Good job. All right, where is Patrick Carroll from Our Lady of Peace? Did you win last year in 5th grade? Okay. All right. So let me tell you about Patrick. Now, a lot of things here, but this is his ending paragraph, okay? You know, start with a bang, but you end with power. In the end, North Augusta wasn't only being good Samaritans by helping out, but we also made a connection with our community and strengthened it. The way that everyone came together during the disaster and helped out made us a role model to what other cities should be like. And what he doesn't know is that is true. It really is. As North Augusta continues to recover, help out with great men from everyone. I love this last 2 sentences. How everyone showed unity, love, and support is why I live in a great city. The hurricane reminded me of a quote. You know, I love a quote by Robert Collier. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. And that's exactly what we saw. That was well done. Good job there, buddy. Okay, we have 1 7th grade. Where is Aaron Lou from Our Lady of Peace? Come on, Aaron. How are you? Good to see you. Yours is really good. I love this one paragraph, though, really hit me. Because he talked about an area that not a lot of people talked about. He said, because we talked so much about the physical, but he said, in addition, many gave emotional and moral support to each other. Friends and neighbors checked on each other. Prayer groups have prayed for the people, and there was a sense of encouragement from one another. North Augusta residents had a spirit of good Samaritans. People came together in unity, and that's exactly right. Great job. Proud of you. All right, now we're 8th grade. I'm going to say, is it Dita Mattis from Highland Springs Middle? Did I say that right? Data? Deja, I'm sorry. How are you? Good. All right, let me tell you this. Let me get on here. All right. How you like that new middle school? It's clean and new, isn't it? All right. Okay. Again, I love this. This just is a warm feeling here. She goes, after Hurricane Helene, the citizens of North Augusta turned to each other for help. North Augustans, in quote, clearly care for each other. The city acted like a family. I like that. There was an amazing support system which all residents could properly rebuild in. This fact could be seen especially after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. I do believe you're right about the family. That was a great job. Let's get a round of applause. Where's Rafi Sherlock? Rafi. Is that right? Rafe. Okay. Sorry, Rafe. How you doing? All right. So let me tell you a little bit about, you kind of know where this guy's heart is faith. So Rafe says, about a lot of different things, but he says, I also saw my town helping each other spiritually. I saw a lot of churches doing mass. My local church even came to people's homes and prayed for them. I watched my community get together and pray together and just help each other. My community even made a Bible study and read the Bible together to pick them up spiritually. This is how my community got together and helped each other spiritually. Very, very good. Thank you for that sharing. All right. How about Mason? Is Mason here? Mason Booth. Mason's North Augusta High School, 9th grade, right? How you doing, man? Good to see you. All right, so only one to really share this perspective out of all all the writings, and I thought it was really good. And I got to get lead into this. He goes, during the 2 weeks of our fall break, typically I would sleep and play the Xbox all day, which I think we can understand that. But here's the deal. Once Helene caused our power and internet to go out, we were forced to find other ways to have fun. Playing Uno, board games. When the last time you adults have played a board game? Okay, putting puzzles together was a great way to pass the time, and we had so much fun, including lots of laughter. And I love this. Talking about his grandfather. It was fun to spend time with my papa, talking about cars, planes, military, the Georgia Bulldogs, and sitting on their front porch, just enjoying the quiet of the neighborhood. Remember the good that came out of that was a quietness, but remember the dark skies because we had no lights and what you could see. So anyway, I love that perspective. You took something and turned it into a positive by really seeing the part about talking and listening. So well done. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay, Ben Ellis is at North Augusta High School. He is not able to be here, but I do want to highlight, because we're live streaming this, so maybe I want to tell you just kind of what hit me about Ben. And again, I think I kind of know who he's talking about on this, but anyway, I love it. Again, finding some positive. Ben goes, he tells a story that talks about, kind of reminds me, Mason, you a little bit, but says there's no power, no internet, and for many homes, no water. Our residents relied on this spirituality to rise up and support each other. One of our neighbors organized a small service for our street to worship on Sunday morning, just 2 days after the storm. We gathered around a fire pit in folding chairs, cooking potatoes over the fire, and prayed. This small act provided a sense of community on our street and provided spiritual support to all our neighbors. Ben, well done wherever you are, sir. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, Julia Weatherford, Victory Christian. How are you? All right, I'm going to read the whole paragraph, but it's, again, I love where these young people's hearts are for the Lord. So, but let me just read. In the days, this is our ending paragraph. In the days and weeks that followed, evidence of the crisis remains, most easily seen in the piles of debris that still line many of the roads, especially in residential neighborhoods. Even though this continues to remind us of the turbulent times that befall our city, we are also reminded of God's sovereign hand over the community as He protected North Augusta and kept us from further harm. Amen. I agree with you. Let's give a round of applause. Great job. We've got three 11th graders, and the first one is Riley Howell from North Augusta High School. 11th, where's Riley? Is Riley here? Come on down here, buddy. Now, Riley, I have to ask, you are pretty much, you listen to what's happening around you, don't you? It's very evident. So I'm highlighting three things that you could tell he watched the news, he was on social media, but he was looking at some, and these, he's the only one that really mentioned these. And his first one is not why you won, even though you mentioned me. But he goes, Mayor Britton Williams went on to say our citizens have been incredible, talking about some videos. But this is the one that really got me. This is impressive. Other ways Citizen North Augusta helped after Hurricane Helene was the Consul General of Israel also helped distribute baby supplies like diapers and wipes to families in need during her visit. That Consul General, she came to the community center with her staff and brought a van full of baby supplies and wipes and diapers. So incredible. And then I love this. And again, this happened. They even, talking about the city, set up a drive-through station for Aiken and Edgefield County residents at the North Augusta Community Center, serving meals and water also. And we served must 90,000 bottles of water and 40,000 emergency meals. It was incredible. But very evident, he was very observant, and I really like the fact that you heard and saw some things that no one else really talked about that we were doing on municipal. So well done. Let's give him a round of applause. Oh, yeah, two. Okay. How about Brody? Brody Stroud, Victory Christian, 11th grade. Brody, you got your jacket on. You looking sharp there, buddy. I'm liking that. All right. Okay, again, I love how you use words here. And your last sentence was just really powerful to me. Just listen to this. Helene was only a rough patch in the road for our city. I agree. But with great endurance and patriotism, we were able to persevere in a show of care, determination, and compassion for others. I couldn't have said it better. Well done. Thank you, sir. Let's give a round of applause. Oh, they are here? Okay. All right. So is Taylor Rogers from North Augusta High School, 12th grade? Is Taylor here? Okay. Well, let me just highlight a couple things that she talked about. Again, what I like about this is it's more than just, she says, as soon as the storm passed, neighbors checked on each other to ensure everyone was safe. Okay? Everyone said that. But this is what the key is. This is the perspective. This initial act of kindness set the tone for the days and weeks that followed. It's a pretty good perspective. Set the tone. I really like that. And she talked a lot, talked about the mental health professionals, including counselors and therapists, volunteering their time to help residents cope with trauma of the hurricane. Provide free counseling sessions, organize support groups, provide a safe space for individuals. So just a really good perspective, Taylor. So wherever you are, thank you. Appreciate that. And the last person we have from Victory Christian is Parker Hampton. Parker, make it. Y'all know Parker? Okay. Let me see that. All right, wow. Okay, let me tell you about Parker. So you got some good stuff on here. Okay, and I think this is a good way to kind of end it, to be honest with you. So this sums up, really, this paragraph, the whole point of all this. We cut down and clear trees for hours on end, expecting to take on the challenge of clearing the rest of the road after we were finished. What we failed to realize was that everyone else in our small community had been working just like we had. Whereas we were limited to a chainsaw and a couple of axes, our neighbors got out on the road early that morning with their tractors and worked tirelessly to clear it. I had never in my life seen such display of selfishness. Our whole road was buzzing with the spirit of productivity, and I'm certain I saw more of my neighbors that day than I had in 8 years of living in that house. I saw such kindness in the hearts of people I had never even met. The Bible says in Romans 8:28, that all things work together for good to those who love God and those who are called according to His purpose. I am sure that I have never in my life seen that verse proved so demonstratively. I am beyond thankful for all the people that God brought us together with us as a result of the storm. So, well done. And for all of your parents here, you need to be really proud of your child, your young person. And the people y'all associate with. I tell you, these were done so well. It says a lot about this community, what y'all are doing raising them. So let's give these people a big round of applause. Thank y'all. All right, y'all said the last two I'm going to mention here. I'm going to ask these two young ladies to come forward. So the coloring contest. Let me tell you about the winners of the coloring contest. First grade in Belvedere, and we're going to go to each of these schools on Thursday, is Kennedy Stevens. At Our Lady of Peace was Cortland Riley. And this young lady is here from Hammond Hill, Sailor Seavey. Sailor, come on down. Let's give Sailor a round of applause. You dressed up for me, didn't you? You got glittery shoes and a pretty Christmas dress. You like the color? You going to be an artist? All right, good. Well, you did good. Thank you so much. We have a prize for you later, okay? All right, let's give a round of applause. Thank you. No, we don't have anything now. Go back to your mom. Yeah. Second grade, Victor Christian is Ava Mackey. North Augusta, L was Elizabeth Thompson. Our Lady of Peace, Price Carroll. Third grade, Boring Academy is homeschool Judah Boring. Hammond Hill, we also have June. I say that right? June. I'm sorry. Where's June? June Sato. Come on down, June. Let's give a round of applause. Congratulations. Now I'm going to ask you, do you also like to draw, or you want to be an artist?
Yes.
It's kind of fun doing Sergeant Justice, wasn't it? Okay, good. All right, let's give a round of applause. Thank you. And finally, fourth grade from Belvedere, we had Connor Brown. From Mossy Creek, we have Aspen. And from Victory Christian, Jace Sigley. So before you get out here, look at all their great coloring. They did a good job. And thank you, council, for being up here. So that's it. We're done. That was good. Isn't there? Let's move on here. Where are we? Whew. All right, old business, number 7. Finance ordinance number 2024-27, adopting a budget for fiscal year 2025 containing estimates of proposed revenues and expenditures by the city of North Augusta, South Carolina for the budget year beginning January 1, 2025, and declaring that same shall constitute the budget for the city of North Augusta for such budget year. Do you have a motion to approve this ordinance on second reading?
Second.
All right, who was first? Ms. Carpenter? Thank you. And Ms. McCauley? Very good. Anything you'd like to share about this, Ms. Clifford?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to say that this item number 7 and item number 8 are linked. These are two ordinances that are for your consideration as a second reading for fiscal year and calendar year 2025 budget. As a reminder, the City Council passed a resolution in regards to ARPA, which allowed us to open up some budget space that allowed us to fund the changeover of sidearms from 45 caliber to 9mm for the Public Safety Department, as well as put some additional money back into veterinary services for animal control. And then through that also allowed us to pay for the salaries for the 3 officers starting on 1 July of 2025, which would backfill the existing CAT team that was taken from line officers in-house for the shifts. So this is what that would allow us to pay for. Again, as a reminder, there is no change to the millage property tax for our citizens, and you have less ordinances to consider for this round because the City Council had already considered the utility rates and the enterprise funds on a previous council meeting. So ultimately, no change to the property tax, and I believe we've had a pretty full and robust discussion through study sessions in the first reading of this ordinance, but I will pause for any questions from council.
Okay. If there are not any, are there any citizen comments? Council discussion. All right, hearing none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor? And that is unanimous. Thank you. Item 8, ordinance number 2024-28, levying the annual tax on property in the city of North Augusta, South Carolina for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2025 and ending December 31, 2025. The motion to approve this ordinance on second reading.
So moved.
Mr. Buck, thank you. Second, Ms. Carpenter. Okay. I think Ms. Clifford's already shared on that. Any citizen comments here? Any council discussion? All right, here now, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you very much. All right. Item 9, Planning Development. Ordinance number 2024-29 to approve the general development plan for the 24.14 plus or minus acres Bentley Place Plan Development located generally on the north side of Walnut Lane, approximately 800 feet west of US 25. Do I have a motion to approve this ordinance on second reading?
So moved.
Ms. McCauley, thank you. Second? Mr. Carpenter, you're busy today. Anything you'd like to share about this, Mr. Clifford?
Just as a reminder for our council members, this is, and for our citizens, this is for a very small residential development that would be very near the SRP Federal Credit Union located off Highway 25 north of Exit 5. And so there's a residential development, then there's a blank space, and then there's the SRP Federal Credit Union, and this development would be in that blank space. So it's a greenfield development, as they say.
Yes, and Councilman Kevin Toole and Councilman David McGee will recuse himself. They've filled out a recusal form at our first reading as well. They're allowed to stay in the dais. So, all right, are there any citizen comments? Any council discussion between the four of us? Okay, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor? That's unanimous, 4-0. Thank you. Item 10, Planning Development Ordinance number 2024-30 to change the corporate limits of the city of North Augusta by accepting the petition requesting annexation by the landowners and annexing plus or minus 18.57 acres of property located at Edgefield Road, Highway 25 at Escaga Lake Road, tax parcel number 011-07-01-010, owned by Summers Family LLP. Do you have a motion to approve this on second reading?
So moved.
Okay, I heard Mr. Toole. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Colley, thank you. Anything you'd like to share about this, Ms. Clifford?
Just as a reminder for our citizens and council members, this is a parcel of land that's along Highway 25, that's south of I-20, that's right across the street from the Parker's Kitchen that's under construction at the corner of 25 and Escaga Lake Road. It is currently an open field, and this would be zoned as general commercial. We do not have an understanding of what would be on the site at this time, but the staff recommendation remains this would be a good annexation for the city.
Any citizen comments? Any council discussion? Here and now, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. Ordinance number 11, ordinance number 2024-31, amending section 2-21B of the city code for the city of North Augusta, establishing a specific time in the council meeting for newly elected officers to take office. Do I have a motion to approve this ordinance on second reading? Carpenter. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Toole, thank you. Anything you'd like to share about this, Ms. Clifford?
Mr. Mayor and Council, again, based on advice from the Municipal Association of South Carolina, they recommended that the city codify, or all cities codify their swearing-in procedures. And so the city has, by practice, sworn in new council members at the end of the council meeting. And so this would simply be codifying an existing practice. And based on the recommendation of the city attorney, Kelly Zier, the ordinance that's before you reflects that status.
Very good. Are there any citizen comments? Council discussion.
Yeah, one question. Now, once we've voted on the ordinance and passed, will we decide how we say, let's continue like we've been doing, or how do we?
Yeah, that's what's in there. That's what the ordinance says.
Yeah, I know, but he was saying you could decide before. I thought you said
No.
you could decide either way.
No,
So we're going to continue like we've been doing.
that's correct.
Any other council discussion? All right, and I'm going to ask for a vote. All in favor? That's unanimous. Very good. Thank you. All right, new business. Item 12, Planning Development Resolution number 2024-57, accepting deed of dedication for the mast arm traffic signal, utilities and associated easements and rights of way, along with a maintenance guarantee and letter of credit for Quick Trip. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution? All right, Mr. McGee, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Ms. McCall. It's a quiet group, man. Anything you want to share about this, Mr. Clifford?
This is a reminder for council members, as we discussed in the study session. This is to simply take possession of an item that's already in place, and this will just add it to our inventory. And so if you're familiar with the new Quick Trip gas station at Exit 5, off Interstate 20 on the south side of Exit 5, there is a mast arm, which is for the traffic lights. So you basically have the ability to either have string lighting, or you can have the more formal mast arm. We have mast arms throughout our downtown corridor and some other parts of the city. And so, again, this is something that we requested that QT do for their development. And so this is an expected action that we would take over the mast arm now that it's complete and our engineering department has deemed it to be in compliance.
Great. All right. Any citizen comments? Any council discussion? All right, here now, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you. All right, item 13, Parks and Rec, resolution number 2024-58, authorizing the City of North Augusta to accept the low bid from Sport Surface Pros, LLC, for the Riverview Park Tennis Court resurfacing. We have a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
All right, Ms. McCauley. Second, Ms. Carpenter. Anything you'd like to share about this, Mr. Clifford?
Mr. Mayor and Council, again, this is based off the passage of the fiscal year 2025 budget, and this would be an allocation out of the Capital Projects Fund in the amount of $52,920. The city went through a closed bid, sealed bid process, had 3 bidders, and then this Sport Service Pros LLC was the low bidder. And this is to resurface the tennis courts, and we will not be doing it in the very near future. It will be more in the springtime when the temperatures are more appropriate for them to do the work, but we wanted to lock in the vendor and the pricing now. And this was the earliest we could do it because you had to wait for the second passage of the budget. So this is what's before you today. I know that we had a petitioner came to one of the power hours and talk about the state of the tennis courts, and this was a priority that was given to me by council. So this is our technical action to meet that requirement.
Very good. Any citizen comments? Now, Jim, I'm glad you mentioned about the power hour, this opportunity for citizens to communicate with us, and this just happened to be one that made sense for us to do something, but we wouldn't have known it, quite frankly, if Karen Fraley cannot come forward. So, again, that's what the public power hour is about, give you a chance to talk to us. So with that, no other discussion, I will ask for a vote. All in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, item 14 are just some boards and commissions. We had 4 positions, one on the Building Code Board of Appeals, Barry Calloway. We had 2 BZA or Board of Zoning Appeals members, Jim Newman and Kathy Stallworth, and then in Parks, Recreation, Tourism Advisory Commission, Joe Bickley. These 4 folks' term came up. As we have done over the last few years, we have often added new people, but we've also reappointed at times. And I reached out to all 4 of these folks, and they are wanting to continue to serve, and I think they've done a really nice job for us. So I'm going to make the motion to approve this board and commissions. Do I have a first and a second motion?
So moved.
First, Ms. McCauley, second, Ms. Carpenter. Okay, all in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then last thing is our city council. We all have the City of North Augusta City Council meeting schedule notice for January 2025 through December 2025. We vote on this and update this every year, and that's out there. So do I have a motion to adopt the North Augusta City Council meeting schedule notice for the year 2025?
So moved.
All right, Mr. Buck, second, Mr. McGee, all in favor? And that's unanimous. Very good. Thank you. At this point, I'm going to turn over administrative reports to Ms. Clifford.
We'll be doing an update on Hurricane Helene recovery efforts, but as they queue up the slide deck, what I would like to tell the council members is that the work on West Avenue for the removing of the red thermoplastic material has been completed, that they have been re-asphalted. The asphalt has to cure for a set period of time, and I would expect that in about 3 weeks' time, you'll see the striping for the crosswalks, the 2 white lines, should be in place in January. So just in case any of our citizens approach you about the fact that we did not replace the crosswalks there on West Avenue in that corridor, that's certainly part of the plan, but the asphalt has to fully cure and set before we paint on top of it. So that's what the delay is going to be in between the work that's already been accomplished and the work that's going to be accomplished.
And that will be a 2-part, meaning we're taking care of the white stripe, and then there will be a mural that'll be done on that, but that'll be done later.
That's correct, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, very good.
All right. Hopefully this is not an annual tradition like the reading of the King James Bible. I hope that we will not be here next year doing this, but here we are on the 16th of December. Next slide, please. Again, no changes to our lines of effort, and debris removal, line of effort 5 is our main effort. Next slide. So this, again, just highlights the methodology which we've approached it. We've actually had recent conversations with SCDOT about their progress on state roads within the city. You have county roads that are within the city, and we have contractors who are currently working those areas. And then you have city roads, which are being worked by our contractor that we got through Aiken County, and also through city crews that are doing the things that they're doing. And then also through our property and parks, it's a mix of city crews and then R&R Tree Service, which is currently working on the Greenway. And again, residents still have the ability to self-remove. And then we also have trees that are overhanging private property, and I would say we'll probably get 2 to 3 requests a week at this point in time from citizens, and Roy Kibler, our arborist, will go look at those, and some of those are deemed necessary to action, and other ones say, hey, that tree is just fine, there's nothing wrong with that tree. But the good news is having an arborist on staff allows us to make a reasoned and informed determination on the status of a tree, which not everybody has that ability. Next slide. So no changes to staff guidance. Again, we're getting towards, as I'll cover in a later slide, the end of our first pass. So again, we are not covering Belvedere outside of the city limits. There are some small parts of Belvedere that are city roads, but the majority of Belvedere roads are either SCDOT or county roads. And so we're going to let those two entities handle those. And again, we're trying to achieve as close to 100% FEMA reimbursement as possible. Next slide. So you've seen this slide multiple times every week. Again, there's a mix of 4 different types of roads between SCDOT, private roads, our city roads, and county roads. And you can see that red is the greatest preponderance of road networks inside of our city. That's somewhere between 70-75% of the road networks are SCDOT maintained. Next slide. Just to highlight, vegetative debris has to be by itself. It cannot be commingled, and we've already had reports of citizens contacting us and saying that the trucks, regardless whether it was SCDOT road or city road, that was not picked up. And invariably, most times when we investigate that, it's because they have roofing material, fiberglass, wooden fence parts, you name it, commingled with the vegetative debris. It has to be pure vegetative debris, otherwise the crews aren't going to get it. And if you see the equipment, as you know, that looks like when it's out there, it's a boom truck with a grapple hook. And so it doesn't do fine detail work. It's just picking masses. Next slide. So as we discussed in a previous iteration, we have a strategy for the city roads working north to south. And I would say that the heat map on the right-hand side reflects what the plan was and what the plan is and what's been accomplished through there. And the heat map has actually been updated since then, but we've had a lot of work through the rapids and even into other parts of Hammond Hills. Next slide. Also, as we talked about, this past week, we've had a number of both city and contractor crews working through Lyndhurst. They had crews working on Bunting. They had crews working near North Augusta High School on Jeffries and Torrey. So we've had a number of folks working to the core of the city, if you will, in between Martintown and Georgia Avenue. And I'll show you what's going to be coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Next slide. So for the contracted plan for the city roads north of I-20, we've finished out items number 1 and 2, so that's Bergen Place and Oak Creek neighborhoods. And we have largely finished the neighborhoods around Walnut Lane. And now SDR, the contracted workforce, is working on Walnut Lane itself, the main thoroughfare between 5 Notch Road and Route 25. They've started work on that as of yesterday, and they'll continue to work on that road until they're complete. And I understand there's some fairly large debris field and piles near the intersection of 5 Knots and Walnut Lane, but they'll continue to work those until those are completed. Next slide. So I wanted to give you an overview of the city road status. So if it's green, we consider that done as far as from a first pass perspective. That does not include root balls, does not include finish work. But as you can see there, it's 22.3 miles of 24.1 miles of city road. which gives us about a 92% completion rate. 92% is not a grade I saw in college very often, and so I think that's a pretty good one. And I think we've got a real chance of getting this first pass through all of our city roads before Christmas. Next slide. So for the city crew priorities, they've already worked the right-hand side. You have to pardon the John Madden scroll. The right-hand side there is Knox Avenue, and you can see the blue roads there. That is reflective of one of the roads that's behind the Walgreens near the Lowe's. And then across the street from there is the Chick-fil-A to the north of that location. You've got an apartment complex that's just south of that that's also off of Knox Avenue. I believe has already been complete. Part of Clay Street has already been completed. And as of this morning, we had city crews working in the North Hills neighborhood in the Summit, which those are the private roads that are there. And that's the neighborhood that's behind the YMCA. And so they're working the private road networks that are in that neighborhood. And I believe they'll probably finish it up in the next 24 to 48 hours. Next slide. Our next crew priority after that is getting to one of our longest roads, which is down there in the River North neighborhood. And so we're going to establish a temporary site near the entrance to the 5th Street Bridge. And we're going to end up hauling that debris to that location where SDR will service that site at a future date because the turn time on those is significantly longer. And this will allow us to get everybody picked up before that date. And again, I would say that the city roads, city maintained roads, we're on track to have this all done before Christmas. Next slide. For contractor priorities, we actually just started, they had started and I had them moved to a different neighborhood to finish some work we didn't find 100% done, and then we moved them back into Shoreline Drive. So over at the River Club, you'll see crews will be working that road for probably the next several days. There are pretty large debris piles near the entrance to that neighborhood. So we'll have those folks working that. The good news is they're dropping all those items at the Buena Vista site, so the turn time for those trucks is very short, so they'll be very efficient as they work through there. They're also finishing out parts of the Rapids, and they're also finishing out some parts of Knollwood. So that's what we've got contractors working on. And they'll work right up until the 23rd of December, and then they're going to do a stand down for Christmas. We'll still have city crews that'll be local, that'll be working, but the SDR contractors will be taking a break from the 23rd of December, pretty much through the new year, and we'll be back here effective, I believe, the 3rd of January. Next slide. So one thing I want to announce, this is open source. The South Carolina Department of Transportation put this out through a press release on the 6th of December, and they're saying that they're asking the public to have all of their debris out to the curb by today, December 16th. We had a meeting with Aiken County, and the county elements for city and county roads, we're asking for our residents to have their items out on those roads by the 5th of January. And so that doesn't mean we're not going to be picking up beyond those dates. What we're saying is we see a lot of tree companies and residents that are contracting with tree companies to come in and pull trees down and then put them on the side of the road. And what we're saying is after these dates, if you contract with a tree company, that tree company has to backhaul that vegetative debris to a dump site just like you would pre-hurricane. So if you had a contractor come to your house and pull down a tree and have them take that to landfill, it's the same rules apply. So ultimately, we want folks to get everything to the curb into the roadways by those dates, depending on where you live. Next slide. Again, we've got our debris drop-off site for our residents. All I have to show is a North Augusta or Aiken County address on your South Carolina driver's license, and they'll take that for free there at that Barden C&D drop-off site. Next slide. And again, just a reiteration of our map that shows it's behind the Aiken Tech area. Next slide. So as we talk about trees, so R&R is moving fairly well through the Greenway, and we're at a point now we felt comfortable that we are now pulling one of those crews off the Greenway to start working on high priority trees or trees that Roy Kibler and his team felt like the city crews could not accomplish because those trees would require cranes or some other special equipment that the city does not have in its inventory. And so you're going to start seeing those R&R crew folks work through the different neighborhoods through our high priority items. And again, we've deferred to Roy Kibler to tell us if these are the trees that are the most important as far as have the most liability, the most potential liability, and we'll start working that list. And then Roy Kibler and his team are going to start working through other trees that they have the ability to handle on their own with their crews. And again, if you have a tree that you think is a problem that is coming off of city property over your property, or is a hazard in general, you can reach out to our city clerk, Jamie Paul. Her number is listed on the slide above. Next slide. So the operation end state is still the same. We've been able to do the power restoration. I think under road hazards, I've greened that up as far as being identified, not removed, but we at least know where all of our hazards are. And actually, we found additional trees that needed to be cut based on removal of some debris piles to open up and see that we have ones. One example would be Shadow Lane in Lyndhurst has some trees that are out there that we couldn't necessarily see very well based on the debris piles, but now that we've removed the debris, we can see that those trees need to be cut back or removed, so we'll at least know that. Recreational facilities and city parks open to the extent possible. I would say we're moving in that direction. We had R&R remove some debris from Davenport Park, from Creighton Park, and now they're moved over to Riverview Park Activity Center. And then after that, we're going to move them over to Leroy Hammond Park over by North Augusta High School. So they're starting to slowly come back online where we're getting these trees removed from the parks, and then part of their job is to backhaul that tree debris as well. And so we're moving in a good direction. And then also, I think we're in a good place for the Greenway. We're not quite there yet, but they're making really good progress, both from the north end and the south end. They're still working their way through some of the middle portions. Had an opportunity to take a look and see what they were doing over by Knollwood. And so they're working in that vicinity along with the railroad trestle over Martintown Road. Still has some cleanup work that needs to happen around there. Again, we'd ask our residents not to walk on the Greenway, so not to bypass the checkpoints we have there as far as the fencing, but give us time to work fully on the Greenway, and we'll get that open as very soon as possible. Next slide. What I would like to say before you get into questions is that my intention is at the next City Council meeting, which is the 6th of January, is to give you an update on the plan for the root ball removal and be able to show you kind of via map what we're looking to do, but I would anticipate that we're going to be able to start doing some of the root ball removals in January, and to set expectations right up front. When we're talking about removing the root balls, we're talking about a root ball that is fully out of the ground. So there are some root balls you can see that they've tipped over, but they're still got a root network that's into the ground. We're not talking about touching those quite yet. What we are talking about is prioritizing the ones that are either in the roadway or on the side of the road that can be picked up with a front end loader or wheel loader without having to do any kind of cutting operation. In our discussions with some of our contract partners, there's some additional FEMA work that has to go along with that from an environmental perspective. And so we're going to get after the ones we can get here the easiest and the first that are impacting the roadways. That's going to be our priority. And I'll show you on a map on the 6th of January, where we're going to be starting and what that's going to look like.
What did they do with the big root balls?
We're going to put it in the exact same pile that we have it in with the rest of the tree debris, and I'll leave that to the contractor to determine whether they're going to grind that locally for mulch or they're going to backhaul it. But my problem as the city administrator is to get the root balls from the roadway into a debris storage field, if you will, for the contractors to handle it at that point in time.
The slide you showed that December 16th, that's today, right?
It is, yes.
They'll no longer pick up, if you're...
No, ma'am, that's not saying they won't pick up, but they're saying don't bring anything else out to the roadway after the 16th.
Oh, okay.
So if we have a number of residents inside the city limits that have not had their debris picked up that are on SCDOT roads. If it's already out there, SCDOT is going to service it. But if let's say, for example, they did part of one street and come back and do another pass further up the street, and they notice that somebody just dumped out a bunch of other things after the 16th, they're not going to grab it at that point in time.
Well, I just want that clear so citizens will know that. Okay.
Couple quick questions. So I just know firsthand some citizens have not had the funds to clean up yard debris. They've had to save up some money. So what happens if somebody didn't have $5,000 to clean up the yard and it took them 4 months to save it up? I mean, can it still be picked up at some point?
Councilman, I would say no, but ultimately it depends on what we're talking about. And normally, again, pre-hurricane status, if you had trees removed from your yard, the city does not have a policy to pick up trees at the side of your yard at the roadway. The tree corporation that you end up getting into a contract with normally has that a provision to remove the tree and not just shove it to the side of the road. Any other time prior to this hurricane event, a tree contractor would take that debris in and remove it, and then the city would not be encumbered to pick up all the tree debris.
And also, well, what about the home that, say, part of the tree is somewhat in the roadway from their yard and they don't have the funds to get it removed? I've had several phone calls. I mean, so what do we tell those people?
If it's hanging into the roadway, our contractor will trim it to the point that it's not impacting the roadway. But what they're not going to do is move into the person's property and address the tree at the root ball itself. They're just going to take one of those, cutters off of a boom truck and cut it to a point that it's not in the right of way.
Last question. Living History Park. So we own that property. Are we not going to be responsible to clean that park up?
So the contract that we have with R&R Tree Company Corporation has Living History Park as one of the parks that is going to be serviced as far as the tree removal and the tree hazards. So we'll get to that. It's just a matter of the greenway still being the priority.
Well, talking about living history, the city did not build any of those buildings. That was private downtown. So I presume those buildings that were destroyed will be rebuilt by the group of people. I mean, those were not built by the city.
I can't speak to that, but I could say that I know that they are working with the city from an insurance claim perspective. I don't have any information or data right now about their overall plan to rehabilitate either damaged buildings or replace ones that are completely a loss.
I would imagine at some point, 6 months from now, we will get back to our normal city pickup process. So I'm assuming if people are putting more stuff out, obviously if it's still a very large stuff, but eventually we'll go back to our normal debris pickup, correct?
That's certainly my hope, Councilwoman, but I would also say that we have to probably recalibrate what we talk about as our normal pickup. So if there's an ordinance that says exactly what the size of the pickup is, especially when it comes to yard debris, and many citizens have forgotten what that is, and so they put out enormous amounts of yard debris, and that's what's been causing some complaints prior to this hurricane about the timeliness of the trucks to get to service their entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be a future study session to get some additional guidance from the council about what the appetite there is after we do the full hurricane debris removal.
Okay, that sounds good. And Councilman Buck, I was just going to mention, encourage people to still reach out to their churches, because I know our church home is still going out and helping people that are in need of those situations.
Well, Jim, I would just tell you, continue to pull our hats off to you, Jason, the team, with our two crews are working 7 days a week. Just incredible for us to be in the SDR, for us to be close to 92%. At this point, it's pretty fantastic. And I will tell you, I think we've all seen it, SCDOT through SDR, they're called SCDOT. They're working on Fairfield now, which was one of the roads I thought was terrible. But we're seeing, I don't think any citizens can say they aren't seeing stuff happening. It's pretty much everywhere, and I think that is pretty amazing. So my hat's off to all your efforts you've been doing, all your folks. So.
Well, you saw that too, Mayor, with what these young people are seeing. Those were amazing.
It was.
And they're seeing a city come together.
Yeah.
And so that's encouraging.
The efficiency I saw today, too, they were picking up on East Avenue, and they just had one truck. As soon as it was full, another truck was lined up right behind it. Another truck was lined up right behind it. It was pretty amazing to watch. It was a very fast process, although each yard took a little while, but it was just amazing to watch the process happen.
Yeah. That was a good update, sir. Thank you. At this point, item 17, presentation, communication, recognition of visitors. This is the time citizens may speak to city, mayor, and city council regarding any matters not listed on the agenda. Is there anything anybody would like to talk to us about? Okay. All right. So, before I do this, I always forget this. I won't embarrass her, but I want to publicly get a big shout out on record, Miss Jamie Paul. Jamie did all of the legwork on the writing contest, the coloring, a ton of effort with everything else she's doing with happening. She's taking that role on. She really enjoys it, but I know she's taking a lot of effort. So Jamie, thank you, because literally we would not do it without you and your communication. Just very thankful for that. It was a big part. All right, last thing, we did this last year. I think we've done this year. I think it's great. I'm going to let everybody go around, and I'm going to actually, it's like if you want to share anything end of the year about Christmas or whatever that you want to say, and I'm going to actually, before we get to council, I'm going to start with some of our directors. I'm going to start with Jim Clifford. Anything you want to say? We won't meet again until January 6th, so this is your last chance publicly to say something to all your friends.
There's a lot to be thankful for this year. I'm thankful for my family, first and foremost, for the blessings we received from God and from our staff. We've got a world-class group of folks that I get to work with every day. I think our citizens and the council get to see the end result. And I get to sit here and kind of tout on the work they do, but ultimately we have an incredible workforce here within the city that make amazing things happen every day. And I'm grateful for the team that I get to be a part of. So thank you.
J.D. McCall, anything for you, sir?
I just say ditto to that. I'd say I'm extremely grateful to be a member of this team, member of Jim's team, work with Jim on a daily basis, and our leadership team and our staff are second to none. And I'm just very thankful to be a part of that team.
Very good. Chief Johnson, how about you, sir?
One of the things that I'm most thankful for is that we work for a city where the citizens care about each other, just like they talked about tonight. We see it when we go out patrol and different people thank us for the service that we do, and it's wonderful that we're able to serve in a city like that.
Miss Linda, how about you? You sure you're good? You're happy? You're just happy to be here, right? Jamie, have anything for you?
I just want to say thank you to Mayor, Council, everything that y'all do, and of course for our administration. It really has shown through what our city does within and behind the scenes, and I'm just thankful for everything. Thank you.
Councilman McGee, start off with you this year.
Just thankful for everything this year. We've had a lot of trials and tribulations this year, and especially the last, 4 months. So I'm just, one of the things I've always said is that our community is what makes North Augusta. And we've had people come in here and discuss growth, and they don't want more growth and more people. But I've said it before, it's just the community of the people, our attitude, our welcomeness to help each other, and how we've always do that here in North Augusta. And I'd like to say I'm just thankful for being a part of the community. I love serving the community. I love being on council. And thank you, and a Happy New Year, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Well, I think, as JD said, ditto to everybody. I mean, in my 74 years here, we have never gone through what we have. And like I said, I remember the week after Hurricane Helene, going through Riverview Park crying, just looking at the trees. And my little deer, who are always out there with me when I go home, were not there. So, but like I said, I'm like these young people. I think from turning on my light, turning on my water to wash my hands, these things God showed me I took for granted. And so I just want to say, thank you, first of all, for our God. The hurricane was awful, but look what it did to all of us. Just brought us closer and love each other, no matter who you are or what you are. So I'm just thankful for, and I'm like David, thankful that I can serve this community, and proud to say I'm North Augusta.
I'm not going to leave you out. Come on, man.
Well, it's kind of ironic, but I got way too much to be thankful for. But one of the things I have to tell you that I'm really thankful for, all of the councils I've worked for, and we've still got same thing taking place now, the council has looked after the city, not after themselves. And that those decisions have been made all these years. And something, just a very minor thing, but I was riding home last week sometime, this is after the storm, and about 25 years ago at least, SE&G was running the new power line out Martintown Road. And they were putting the big, I think their concrete poles are up there. And there was, at that same time, council decided we're going to do the street lighting out there. Well, the problem came up that SC&G would put streetlights up, and the ones that they'd put on their poles that they used, but they had to have a lot more poles. And the question was, are we going to put up creosote poles, or is the city going to fund to put up the concrete poles like the others? And there was a lot of discussion because there was substantial dollar amount difference. And council decided, we're going to bite the bullet, we're going to put those up. When you ride that road tonight, the next few days, look at all of those poles that are still up, didn't go down with the storm, no problem of anything with them. And what's saying, your decisions today, you might not think a whole lot about of them the next few years, but 20 years, 25 years from now, they're going to mean something, and they're going to maybe mean more than what you thought would originally happen. I think council was thinking aesthetics. They weren't thinking Helene, and but it's just, and again, I just say I'm thankful because those are the type decisions that this council makes. And so I've had the benefit of being a part of that all these years, and I appreciate that.
Well said. Jen?
All right, I'll have to check those out. I think a point to follow off of that is really just reflecting on some of the small moments that we've had over the years. I think that's what this time of the year is about, and in all of the busyness, and I'm actually probably talking to myself on this one, but to take a moment and really think about this past year, how hard it's been, but also how far we've come, what we're thankful for, like all of council has mentioned, our families, and just being around each other during this really season about God, and reflecting on the reason for the season and those moments. So I'm thankful, obviously, for my family. My kids are probably listening and not in bed right now, so Merry Christmas, Ethan, Madison, Ryan. Michael put them to bed. Outside of that, just ditto to everybody, what everybody said, and I just hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm really thankful for electricity.
Amen.
8 days was rough. But I did learn to not take, just like Pat said, not take things for granted. I do thank our God. I mean, we didn't lose a single life in North Augusta, and so many communities did. And to see the city come together, our leadership just did a phenomenal job, and the citizens. I mean, the morning that I woke up from the storm, there were citizens directing traffic on Marktown Road because you couldn't get through it. And they stayed there all day. It was just amazing to see the city come together. But I do wish all the citizens from me and my family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New
Year. Well, it's, again, I echo what everybody else has said. But, really just feel incredibly blessed to serve this community, blessed to have the directors and staff that make this city run the way that they do. Blessed to serve with each of you, to reflect what Kelly had, just said. I know when I show up here on Monday nights that, we may not always agree on everything. We may not always vote the same way. But we're all incredibly blessed to not only live in a city now, but to have lived in a city to where you've had leadership that really did care about the city. And so I'm thankful for each of you. Certainly thankful for my family. Thankful that, in light of the struggles, and I realize that there are still people out there struggling through what happened over the last several months, but, we are fortunate to live in a city that's thriving in spite of those things. You take Helene out, and we had a pretty good year. Can't take Helene out of it, and I don't mean to minimize that or make light of it, but, we are fortunate to live in a city that's thriving and growing, where people want to be. So with that, just Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Look forward to everything we're going to accomplish in 2025.
My thoughts, I'll really put mine down under Mayors and Matters when y'all get the Hometown Highlights, which is our newsletter that will be coming out this month, right? In the water bill? December? Okay, good. So, but I think for me, just this year is about our amazing citizens and employees. Just very, very thankful, very proud to be the mayor of North Augusta. Merry Christmas to y'all. Have a Happy New Year, and God bless you, and y'all be safe. We stand adjourned.